How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video here at ScrubGames, and today I'm going over my deck profile for Star Platinum Jiren in the Zenkai format. I thought this would be a good thing to start off with for deck profiles for Zenkai format because the fact that it's one of my favorite decks. Red is looking to be one of the most dominating colors in the upcoming format, and it was a deck I played last week for the webcam locals, which I ended up taking first place, got undefeated. And I feel it's still a strong contender for the next format because not much changes, but it gets some nice actual cards in the form of cards in the Z deck, and it can very easily get Z energy. It does combo cards, and you can get them back. You can save them in places and stuff like that, so it's not too bad. And it is looking to be a good aggressive deck for the upcoming format as well, because a lot of people are going for like more mid-range or later game decks. I feel like that's the big play, going like turn 4 plays to later turn plays. So Jiren is a nice one to be like the push that early turn pressure while also keeping quite a good amount of resources. And plus with the new TP, they got a bit of a boost, not a huge boost, but a good enough boost to actually make it feel a lot stronger as well. And also, it does get some good red tools, because I know a buddy of mine, Danny, who likes to play this version, he used to play it with the Piccolo Unison, and that actually gets a new Unison that actually works really well with this as well. So I thought it'd be good to go over. And it's not going to be very long because not much changes from my last one, which if you, at the end of the video, there'll probably be a link to go and have a look at the old version, but you might not need to because this is the updated one. And since there's not much changes, I do just want to make basically just go over the few changes we get. But before we do fully go into it and dive into the deck and actually go over the actual list, I do want to say, first off, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. It keeps you updated with my channel as and when my videos drop, and I try to drop them regularly. I normally try to do up to 3 videos a week. I try to put out some interesting content with deck profiles that I explain properly, and also some good discussion videos as well. So if you like that, feel free to subscribe and click the notification bell to get alerts. And at every 100 subs I do giveaways, and currently we had the 401 done. That's over and done with, and the winner is already in the video if you want to go check it out, see if you did win. And we'll get another one at 500, and at 500 I will detail what I will do when I hit my actual goal for this channel, which is to get to 1,000 subs. And once we get 500 subs, do the giveaway for that. I'll detail it in there. So from then, if you haven't subscribed, just subscribe to help me get to that point. Like the video if you do enjoy these deck profiles and how to do the deck profiles, and also comment down below if you've got any thoughts or opinions in it or anything like that. So, with the list, this is Red Jiren, back all the way from, I can't remember what set it was, I think it was set 14 this came out in. It's one of the 2 sets that didn't have much impact and were kind of mediocre after being after some busted sets with some busted cards, and then starting to get into better sets going on that were more interesting. And now the version I run is, I like to run the Unison package because I do like to have access to King Piccolo as a free aggressive attacker, and making things cheaper or free is fantastic and is proven in the game. Anything that's played for free or for cheap is normally quite strong, and also you get access to a very good counterplay in Yamcha, which is actually a lot better compared to how it used to be back in the beginning of the Unison Warrior set. And Ali is very nice. It gains advantage on the front side by being able to basically just take a life, which is mandatory. Then look at top 7, play a red Universe 11, that is 1 cost on your rest mode, and the targets we got for that are 12 different Jiren ones. Now I'm happy that we got a new TP Jiren, so no longer do we have to use, if you don't want to, you can use it if you do the non-Unison build. You don't have to play the Kunchi just to have enough targets. I've got 12 copies of 1-drop Jirens because they all gain advantage some way. We got the first one, which is a searcher, which helps look for your Jiren evolved targets and your Unison. You got the Ever 1-drop, which has effect in drop to help you find the evolved targets, while also just being a cantrip. And then we got the new TP, which is either a cantrip, or if you want to play Unison out, it can play Unison instead of drawing from your hand. So these are very good targets, and I like the fact that the Topo Unison version actually got a little bit stronger in the fact that this Jiren can bring out the 1-drop early. So turn 1 you can play it or play it off your leader's effect to play out the Unison from your hand for free, so you have to use that energy, and then use that energy defensively for 5-drop Jiren or anything else really, which is quite nice. So we go for the 12 versions. If you didn't play the Unison version, you can also always drop the Unison, the Topo, and the package for more 4 more Universe 11 cards, so you can basically take out the 4 Unisons for a full 4 copies of Kunchi, the 1-drop, so you can have 16 targets for the lead, so you can be like almost guaranteed that you're never going to whiff. And then take out the Yamchas and King Piccolo for more cards, like an extra Champa maybe, an Ever Resolve for News, some Ever Tech, like more cards of the tech choices, maybe even an extra 8-drop if you need be. So it's an easy 8 cards to start out for 4 Kunchi and then 4 of extra tech cards you might want. And then along with that, we play 4 copies of the cheaper evolved targets, being the 4-drop because that's free, and the 5-drop because it's a lot of pressure and it's quite sticky. And then we only play 3 of the 8-drop because it's your big boss play. It's a 1-cost 10k, so it's not free in hand. It does require energy to combo, and at least with free, it allows you to see it when you need it, which is when you get to turn 3 onwards, because that's when it's playable. And then of course we got the rounded super combo, just because it's a nice super combo to allow us to put a card back in our deck, like that we might want, like a 1-drop maybe, or anything you don't want in your hand, to help you draw into more cards in our free 10k. And then the Unison package is literally just 3 Yamcha and 1 King Piccolo. I went for 3 Yamcha because space is quite tight and I want to put some good tech cards in to help. And those tech cards are the 1 copy of Fervent Destructive Champa, so you can add that double strike if you're not swinging in with a double striker, like with your lead, because you can pop your lead up quite large, because on its awakened side, it's got an auto where when you evolve, if you would when one of your red Universe 11 cards evolves, it gains 5k power, and that's limit 2, so basically your leader can buffed up to a 25k base. And swinging that with super combos and throwing on Champa, this could be very hard for your opponent to avoid that swing unless they've blocked it or stopped it with a negate, and then they're going to have to combo out of it because there's no way you can really interact with the leader to stop things on it unless you're using a card like the yellow extra, I can't remember what it's called. And then we've got the Vegeta Resolve Nude there in there for dealing with Floodgate negates, because you're going to be applying a lot of pressure. Once you get your turn 3, which is your main kill turn, then you're going to be able to drop those for 1 energy and stop a Floodgate. Then you got Broly Crown, because it's just a great red card to be able to check your opponent's hand if you leave energy open for their floodgates and stuff like that. You get to have a little peek at their hand, or force them to use the energy up first, which is great because if they've got 2 energy open for a 2 energy cost negate, and you play this and they're forced to play 1 or 2 to stop you from looking at their hand, you don't have to wear out a negate, but you don't get to look at their hand. So it's either you get to look at their hand and see and potentially rip the floodgate, or you force something out, which is always beneficial for you. And then make sure we can keep getting these 1-drops out so you can evolve and even get a lot of combo power out. We have 3 copies of the Jiren Pride of Unison 11. This is an old promo for the yellow Jiren deck. It allows you to discard from your hand, play 2 1-drops from your drop. So we're going to always have, you're going to make sure that you want to have 2 1-drops in your drop to make use of that. Because essentially you're either bringing out 2 1-drops to have 2 evolve changes, going a 4 and a 5, or 5 a 4 into 5 with a combo power of 5k, or turning a 5k in your hand to 10k with 2 5ks, which is quite nice. Then we have Quite Sky, a nice little floodgate, so if you don't have to Vegeta Resolve Nude, you can at least put up some pressure on your opponent. But if they do want to use a floodgate, which plays itself to 20k or less, then they're forced to reduce their hand, which means if you can push through the floodgate, they've got less of a hand, and you're constantly still pushing as well. And I go for the SS4 Vegeta as the Unison because I don't really need the removal, because I've got removal built into with my big boss cards, like minusing the stuff, which red is really good at. And this one's nice because it's a solid 30k for free as well, which is really great. And also it forces your opponent to reduce the cards in the hand by making them warp 1 card from the hand. And since it warps a card from hand, it's gone. Its warp is not in the drop, so it doesn't trigger anything or give them access to it. And it's just an easy free 30k that can put free 30k that can put pressure by reducing the hand as well. And as well as that, we go for the Secret Red Pan because we're not really using it defensively. If you're put in a position where you can use it defensively, you're always in that situation to do so. But we mainly use this aggressively, and even now with the changed up to the ultimate tag, we don't care if we use it aggressively. It's just there to be aggressive because it's meant to be the fact you can spam a board of quite a few little things, or even including your opponent's board, and just drop this for free as a free 40k. You can even chuck Champa on, or just finish off when you get them down to 1 to push through the damage. And to help us survive as well, we also have free testing opposition, because one thing we just need is unless you're getting attacked, you are self-awakening, but it slowly overturns. So if you're not attacking, then you're going to be or unless you're being attacked, you're not going to be awakening early enough. So these to help if your opponent tries to push you down from 5 to, well, once you hit the 5 life, trying to put you down to 5 to 3 the lower life, so you can't use, you have to you're less likely to use your leader's unawakened side to free play a 1-drop to bait things out, which is great against like yellow trunks. You can bait out their trunks and Poutine at the same time by just doing that turn on the first thing to trigger those. And this is a way to help you survive. And also, one thing I do like about the Z deck mechanic is you now have access to this Z battle card SSB Vegeta surmounting the impossible. Because one thing that could have been an issue is getting yourself down to 4 life when you get by the turn 3 if your opponent's not attacking you, to allow you to essentially be able to get on the 4 so you can awaken 1 to get to your awaken side, swing the draw, and also boost your lever up by doing your evolves, and also have your super combos live so you can put that really strong aggression on. And this is a nice one, being allowed to come out. And it only requires 1 Z energy and 1 energy, which then you pay that 1 energy, and then your leader's untapping 1 as well as part of his awakening. So you're getting that energy back, which is absolutely fine. And you get yourself another attacker if you want on board. Just chuck a super combo on, it's at least 15k to put pressure on. And as well as that, it's also plussing you because it's taking the life to help you awaken. You're putting a card back at the bottom of your deck as well, which could be something useful or something that's dead in your hand. And then you're essentially taking a life and drawing once you're plussing with it as well, which is a great benefit. And as well, I've probably missed off as well King Piccolo, the new role, just being limited for a reason because it's so good. And this is just nice to go to the Unison package when you get Topo out, because the Topo comes out for cheap, just 1 energy, or even for free from the TP Jiren, and can gain markers because it pluses 1 to give you that benefit of getting a marker and playing at the end of your turn in 1-drop to just help fill your board up, which you can even play Brody Crown as well, as long as you don't play the 8-drop Jiren. And if it gets every time you evolve, it gains an extra marker and becomes a 10k, so 5k, so you can put a little bit of pressure on unawakened leaders early as well to help push, to kind of force them to flip and take the damage, get some more hits in. And if it does get 7 energy, 7 markers, it's got a nice -7, which allows you to deal 1 damage to your opponent if they have 3 or more energy. So getting your opponent down to 3 and then using the -7 to put them down to 2 means then you're just 1 double strike swing away from going all in for game. And King Piccolo is good for that because it's double strike pressure, gets around or gets past blockers because of its permanent, and can be played as long as your leader's Unison has 3 markers, since you can play it for free off the TP Jiren, and then +1 and evolve to basically put the 3. It can be live very easily and any point, just add some extra pressure on. And that is all for the main deck. The main deck didn't really change apart from, as I said, replacing the Kunchis for the TP Jirens, which are a benefit because Kunchi was a 1-drop, which this is also. It's a Universe 11, which this is also. It draws a card, which this also has the option to do. But the main difference being that the Kunchi, its character was Kunchi, whereas this Jiren, which works for the rest of the evolve chain. So being a Jiren name means you have the option to evolve over it, which Kunchi wasn't able to. Kunchi did have the benefit of being on the minus link by 4k, but at the moment I don't think that's as relevant as being a Jiren name, really. And then with the Z battle cards, as I said, we got in SSB Vegeta Surmount Impossible. We only need 1 of those because it's got unique, and it's going to be hard for yourself to remove it because you can't combo off because Z battle cards have no combo power. But it's just there, so if you need to go from 5 to 4, it's an option. Also, as I said, it does plus you a card because you bring it out for free, so not use anything from your hand, just bring it out from your hand, and you can easily just combo off 1 card to have that live. And as well, it just helps you mitigate your hand by putting something back to the bottom to then take a life and draw 1, so you're plussing 1 in that sense because you're putting back in the card, and it's just there for that. And even then, being a 5k attack or even a card on the battle area for a pan as well can be useful. And then we've got Rush Attack SSB Vegeta being one of the probably, I reckon, the best Z battle card in the game at the moment. Just because it's got deflect, so it can't be stopped from coming out, and it's unaffected by counter plays. Fidel can get around that, but it's going to be a late turn. If they've got that, you're going to be pushing the Unison to make sure they can't drop it. And all it needs is 2 cards in your Z energy, which is easy enough done. It just takes 2 combos, that's it. You'll be comboing on swings anyway to try and push through. And it just requires 2 energy as well as 2 Z energy. And then it's got the great effect where it can help push through Unisons easier as well, and just push damage and clear board while pushing it a leader as well, because it's a 15k, and when it attacks you combo with a 5k combo power mono red card from your drop area, negating skills of course, and then you get the minus 15k when your opponent's battle cards Unison for the turn as well, so you can help minus down big things too. And if you do manage to get as well 4 Z energy in your Z energy, while also having this on board, you can activate it to main, keep it barrier and double strike, also 10k, and switch it back to active mode to give you essentially 2 swings, making it almost like a dual attacker. And remember, the first swing is going to be 20k because we're comboing a card from your drop area for its auto, and on the second attack, if you've got another card in your combo area, it's going to be a 30k double strike swing as well, so a nice little bit of pressure. And the other Z card we've got, because at the moment we're limited because we only got 4 Z cards in each colour, 2 of them being, one of them for each colour being, apart from black, in the starter decks for each colour, and for red we got this SS4 Goku with fact no life, and the other 3 are in the set. And with red, 2 of them are locked to the leaders, being Red Sin and Gogeta. So we had Rush Attack, and we have this SS4 Son Goku, Defender of Life. Now the Advent means irrelevant because we're not going to be the trigger deck because our leader's not a pan, but it is a 20k 2 cost that requires 3 Z energy, so that is not too difficult, but you can bring out. And it's just a 20k double striker, also with deflect. And the great thing about this is it's auto, which we got plenty of sends we can put underneath it, because we've got a few sends you can drop off that you have to do is combo off 1 Raditz and you're there, or even combo off a Broly Crown and you're there. And that's relevant because when this card is played, you place up to 1 Saiyan card from your drop under this card to give it power. And the best thing about this is, additionally, if your opponent has 4 more energy, 4 more life, you deal them 1 damage. So the great thing about this is if you've got like 7 markers on your topo, and you've got enough energy to bring this out, like, and you still got the evolve, and your opponent's on 4 life, you can play this from your from your Z deck. Place a Broly Crown underneath it to give it barrier, deal 1 damage to your opponent because it's 4 or more, then use Topo to deal another damage by minusing 7, put down to 2, and then you've got double strike to try and finish him off all on this, and it have barriers that make it harder to interact with, and it's a 20k double strike base as well, which is great. So that's why we're playing. We're playing 2 of them because there's not much else you can really play. There's no leader or any other generic just C battle cards at the moment with the first set to replace it with. So we've just got 4 copies of Vegeta Rush Attack because they're just really strong. And turn 4 you can drop 2 of these and put a lot of pressure in without using anything from your hand. The SSB Surmounting the Impossible is for helping Awakening, and SS4 Goku is to do that extra damage to put your opponent down for 4 to 3. And as well as that, we also do have a side deck, which I think is going to be useful. And we got 2 extra copies of Broly Crown, just because it's such a good card, and we got side 2 in. I keep 2 in the main because it's deck space, and then an extra 2-sided just in case you need more, because, as you know, I really dislike blue and how people play blue, so I put a lot of blue hate in my decks. So we've got 2 extra copies of Broly Crown. We also got 2 copies of Mai. This is useful not more for the fact, also that is a hater on D-Magic, but also for the fact that it is also a hater on a barrier 1-drop, which means it can be live a lot easier if your opponent has easy ways of just getting rid of your little guys. You can play this out to keep barrier guys down for to keep guys out for pan as well to make it cheaper. And then to go with the Vegeta Resolve Renewed, you could probably have the shoe as more copies of that, but I've put in extra shoes just because this deals with most floodgates, whereas the Vegeta also takes care of the rest of them aren't 5k. This is helpful to deal with the 5k ones, and if you got something early and you go first against decks that like to play a certain thing on their turn 1, like Yellow Trunks, you can use this to stop their 1-drops coming out. Then we've got 2 Mecha Gabura just to have it in, just in case it does go later game against Gogeta GT, just before they get to turn 4, slap this down to say they can't drop that big 4-drop, and then keep pushing through as well. And then we got Bardock fully unleashed. Sorry, not fully resolved, fully unleashed. This is to help deal with big battle cards. That's the route we seem to be going down, where people are dropping big battle cards and keeping them on board. If they haven't got barrier, this can help remove them while also providing you 25k in pressure as well, and is easy to swap out for your overwhelm if need be. And then going for the other extra cards, we've got the extra cards we side in that you can take out the Testing Opposition for, a 3 Violent Raise, because that's going to be a really good card for recommended format, and 3 Wolfangs for playing the Unison package, so I put 4 Wolfang Fists in there as well, because if red is going to be quite dominant and people are playing Rush Attack for GF free from the Z deck, it's something you don't want them to keep on board, and this gets around it by just when they attack the first time, you Wolfang Fist it, minus down to 0, it gets removed from the game, and while they still would be the combo card, they didn't have that second attack or that attack going off as well, and it's just a nice card to deal with leader swings and any battle card of leader swing, but it's minus 15k for free to make it easier to combo out of. And that is it for the deck, so not much has changed. I think practically nothing changed apart from now we've got a side Z deck, and a Z deck has some new sort of options, mainly being the SSB for G to surmount the impossible. This gives us an easy access now to awaken, or gets down to 4 so we can awaken than before. And that is it for today. If you are interested in playing this deck, feel free to give it a try. The link to this on Deck Planet will be in the description below, so you can go and give it a try on Untap, or even have it as a checklist to go and build it off. It is an option I really want to play for London, but I'm not sure. I might play something else, but we'll see, because I need to test this for the upcoming format, because I haven't tested it much against Gamma, or tested it much against anything Zenkai really. Anyway. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.